Konnichiwa, welcome to Shibuya Scramble Square, here in Tokyo, Japan. In just a few hours' time, I will be flying with ANA on their premium 777 bound for Fukuoka. From the moment I booked this flight 2 months prior to filming, and with the departure date growing ever closer, my excitement could be best described as palpable. All Nippon Airways, or more simply ANA, with the word Nippon being the Japanese word for Japan, is by far Japan's largest airline, with an impressive fleet with well over 200 aircraft, and has been consistently rated as one of the best airlines in the world. As well as having an impressive international network connecting 95 cities, they also connect 66 Japanese cities with their main hub at Tokyo's Haneda Airport, which is where I shall be flying from today. Japan is one of the very few countries where it is commonplace to see wide-body aircraft operate on routes that are as short as 40 minutes. What is the reason for this? Well, Japan has a lot of people, with the capital city Tokyo hosting over 40 million people, nearly 8 times the population of Sydney, and as such their public transport network is one of the best in the world. Fortunately for me, I decided today to go all out on my journey across country, spending an absurd amount of money on a private car to the airport, from where I was staying in Shibuya. I must say that despite being ridiculously expensive and definitely not something I would ever consider doing again, it was well worth it, as I didn't have to worry about changing trains while also taking in the many different icons along the way, such as Shibuya Scramble Crossing and Tokyo Tower. After approximately 20 minutes of travel time, I was dropped off outside of Terminal 2. Tokyo's Haneda Airport has 3 terminals for its passenger services. Terminal 1, nicknamed Big Bird, is exclusively for Japan Airlines, Skymark, and Starflyer domestic operations. Terminal 2 is for ANA, Airdo, and Solarseed Air's domestic flights, and Terminal 3 is the international terminal, serving all non-Japanese airlines, and some of ANA's international routes. As I will be flying domestically to Fukuoka, today's flight will be departing from Terminal 2. Check-in for ANA is very extensive, covering pretty much the entire eastern wall of the building. There are 6 individual check-in zones, all of which have dedicated sections for priority customers. For their domestic service, ANA doesn't classify its business class cabin as business, rather it's called premium class. Premium class customers are entitled to use the priority lane for check-in, as well as ANA Diamond, Platinum and Super Flyer Club members and Star Alliance Gold customers. Check-in this afternoon was quick and efficient, taking only a couple of minutes to complete. Once my bag was weighed, I was instructed to proceed through Security Zone A, which is located on the northern side of the building and is approximately a 60-second walk away. With Japan being Japan, the security wait time was non-existent, and I was through security in an insanely quick 3 minutes. A premium class ticket also comes with complimentary lounge access to either one of the 2 lounges here at Terminal 2, both of which are completely identical in look and layout, except they are flipped, mirror images of each other. As my flight was scheduled to depart from a northern gate, I of course paid a visit to the northern lounge, which is adjacent to gate 60. The ANA lounge in Haneda is huge, with an elegant design throughout, and there were all different kinds of partitions to separate the lounge into smaller and more manageable chunks. Just inside the entrance was a bunch of communal tables with rows and chairs that kind of reminded me of what you'd expect at a diner. Whilst these looked cool, Honestly, they weren't comfortable, and I didn't spend long at them. The majority of the lounge, as one would expect, especially in the case of a domestic lounge, is made up consisting of mostly seating and sofa chairs, with coffee tables lining each row. Separately, there were 2 drink and snack stations, and 2 areas with Japanese reading materials, including magazines and newspapers. In terms of things to eat, the lounge didn't really offer anything significant, only pre-packaged snacks and sweets, whilst to drink there was soda dispensers filled with a selection of different liquids. Interestingly, beer is available, but in the typical Japanese fashion, it is electronically poured. However, not being a big fan of beer, I opted against it. On offer today, the blue packets contained small pieces of chocolate, and the purple and white bags contained a spicy soya crisp mix. Unfortunately, my time in the lounge had come to its end, as boarding for my flight was just a few minutes away from starting. As today's departure was not that far away, I did not have to leave the lounge very early in order to make it in time for boarding, which was very convenient. Upon arriving at the gate, I got an up-close look at the aircraft that'll be taking me across the country to Fukuoka, which today is a Boeing 777-200ER, registered as Juliet Alpha 743 Alpha. Construction of this airframe was completed in March of 2013, being delivered brand new to ANA later that same month. She was initially painted in ANA's standard white and blue livery, before being repainted in this special Star Wars C-3PO livery, making this aircraft 2 months short of 12 years old, and boy oh boy was I excited that this was my aircraft today. Boarding this afternoon commenced shortly after I had arrived at Gate 58, and commenced firstly with ANA's most premium frequent flyers, and then followed by premium class and then economy. ANA's Boeing 777-200s have 2 different configurations depending on if they are the extended range version or not. This particular 777 is in a 2-class configuration with 28 premium class seats in a 232 layout and 364 standard economy class seats in a 343 layout, with rows 41 to 45 being narrowed to a 242 layout due to the aircraft's shape. This afternoon I shall be seated in 3 kilo on the starboard side. ANA has opted for a slight variation of the Safran Z600 seat for their premium class, which has 50 inches of pitch and 20 inches of width. There is a standard tray table that folds out from the center console in a singular piece that moves forward and back and also spins 90 degrees. In the seat pocket in front, you'll find a standard safety card, air sickness bag, a pair of slippers, and headphones wrapped in plastic. Above are individual reading lights only. Between each seat in the center console, you'll find a small storage area, perfect for a phone, which conveniently also has a universal power port and a single USB-A port. Besides this is the remote for the entertainment screen, which I will get to later. You will also find the many different buttons to control the seat, as well as a small cocktail table and a coat hook adjacent to the entertainment screen. Lastly, there is a second reading light, also located in the center console, at eye level on the wing flap. Soon we commenced our pushback from Gate 58, 7 minutes behind our scheduled departure time.
Securely fasten whenever you are seated, in case of sudden turbulence. To unfasten, raise the flap. Put both arms out, sit up straight, and slide down. Assist other passengers after sliding down. Move away from the aircraft immediately. A life vest is under or beside your seat.
Hello, I am seeing 3 human cycle relations with my counterpart R2D2 and BB-8. It is such a pleasure to welcome you on board, and we do hope you enjoy your flight on this special Star Wars aircraft.
We taxied to runway 34 right via Romeo Echo 9 Echo Mike 2 Charlie and Charlie 1. Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff. After takeoff, we made a sweeping and scenic course over the industrial part of Tokyo before turning left and setting a westerly course for Fukuoka. Flight time today is 1 hour and 41 minutes, covering a distance of 648 miles or 1,043 kilometers, cruising at 40,000 feet. Being the largest city in the world, flying over Tokyo today was a visually stunning experience with a vast expanse of dense buildings and sprawling urban landscape, reminding me very much of the planet Coruscant from Star Wars. On the back of every premium class seat is a 15.6-inch HD touch entertainment screen. Passengers have a vast selection of different films, TV shows, and music, including ANA original programs and sports to watch. Pretty much all of the programs are in Japanese, however, except for a few Western movies, such as the relatively new Marvel movie Deadpool Wolverine. There is also a fantastic moving map feature powered by FlightPath, which I had constantly playing on the screen besides me. Wi-Fi is also available, however, I wasn't able to get it to work, even after I had assistance from the crew. Whilst continuing to cross Tokyo, in the distance was the Ermakochi Airbase, home to a plethora of different squadrons, serving many different purposes for the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force. As I unfortunately chose the wrong side of the aircraft for this flight, I couldn't see what I was hoping to see from my seat, but no matter, I was able to see the stunning Mount Fuji from the rear left-hand door, and whilst back at my seat and roughly around the same time, I was able to see the snow-covered Minami Alps. This was then followed by the in-flight service, to which unfortunately we did not have an option, excluding drinks, but that didn't matter for me, as today I was served a huge selection of different items. On offer today was a cup of miso soup, a salmon and sardine bowl with yuzu, a rice bowl with braised beef and pickled veggies, a Japanese omelette, deep-fried fish cake, pond smelt, which are little fish, simmered chicken with pickled veggies, normal broccoli and sake leaves, simmered beans with mini prawns, a salad consisting of dry-aged ham, pumpkin and cream cheese, marinated squid and scallops with a carrot and citrus sauce, a bottle of water, and lastly, a small chocolate crepe. There was also a vast selection of drinks on offer, with my choice today being a fantastic French wine to pair with, namely Côte de Rhône. This was all illustrated for me on a piece of paper presented during the meal service. Later, I was given another bottle of water, a cup of orange juice and a small sugary bite, to which I'm still not quite sure exactly what it was, but I presume it's some sort of biscuit. On board the aircraft are 6 bathrooms, 1 at the front for premium passengers and 5 spread around for economy. The premium bathroom is fairly typical of what you'd expect for this aircraft type. However, 2 things to note is that the floor space is massive and there are no amenities, which however was understandable. As I was returning to my seat, I quickly realized the city that we were flying over was one of significance, being the location of the first nuclear attack in the world's history, namely Hiroshima. Just prior to descent, the crew came around handing out lollies, much like Air New Zealand. However, these ones are significantly larger than Air New Zealand's, with the red one being strawberry flavoured and the black one being brown sugar flavoured, which was my personal favourite. Soon we commenced our descent into Fukuoka. With the picturesque and clear winter afternoon being forecasted for Fukuoka, and with the previous flights performing these sweeping turns over the city, I knew that today's arrival was going to be quite stunning, not to mention the setting sun to the west. Unfortunately, one thing Flight Radar 24 cannot show the public is the onboard experience during landing. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I am referring to the turbulence, which during our final approach there was lots of. Turbulence is unfortunately very unpredictable. However, it's much more dependent on atmospheric conditions of the day, rather than the area of the world you're flying in. An exception to this would be when you're flying in mountainous areas. Those areas are a little bit more prone to turbulence, which is such the case for Fukuoka, much like the rest of Japan, being surrounded on all sides by mountains stretching several thousands of feet in the air. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied to the domestic terminal via Echo 5 and Alpha 3.
We look forward to seeing you again on your next flight. Until then, may the force be with you.
We pulled into Gate 10, 2 minutes behind our scheduled arrival time. Stepping off the aircraft, I thanked the crew for their superb service. However, it was a little bittersweet, as I did not want to leave this flight behind, but I was very excited for the new city that lay before me. So, I just flew on ANA's 777-200ER in their premium class. What are my thoughts? Well, as always, let's start from the beginning. The check-in experience at Haneda was flawless, taking only minutes to complete, and was very easy to find. The ANA lounge in Haneda's domestic terminal offered exactly what someone on a domestic business trip might need. A quiet space to work with plenty of power outlets. However, the quiet part may have been caused by the civility of the Japanese people. The lounge honestly wasn't what I was expecting. The distinct lack of food was rather strange, but I guess it fits the enormous aviation demands of the Japanese public. And then again, not everyone wants to eat. On board, the seat was fantastic. ANA has opted for a much more comfortable 7 abreast configuration. However, a similar seat of this type on any other airline usually would have an 8 abreast configuration, making this cabin far more attractive. The food needs no explanation. Outstanding. At first I thought I wouldn't like what I was offered, however, despite a few bizarre items here and there, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, would I recommend you to take this flight? Considering I paid only an additional 110 Australian dollars for this ticket, you would be crazy not to do it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. Make sure you check out the other videos that I have posted on my YouTube channel. And I've said this before, but I have a Discord server. Feel free to join. The link is found at the top of the description. Also, if you like my videos and you wish to be notified when I upload again, please press the notification button as it will let you know when I upload again, which happens every Friday at 8 PM Sydney time. And I hope to see you all again in the next one. Arigatou gozaimasu. Mata today!